hello, and welcome to the podcast. It's time. Shut the fuck up and listen. I'm your first co-host, Barry Kuda.
And John.
That's our second co-host, John.
I almost died on water just then, sorry.
But today, this week's episode, you can call me Bubba, because I'm getting head from the President of the United States.
Do you think he's really good at it?
No, but yeah. So yes, first of so he didn't get it. He gave it. He was out there giving it. He was like, Nancy. He was like Nancy. Honestly, I think that the whole Nancy being the throat goat was a cover-up for the real throat goat in Congress, which was Donald Trump. It's always been Donald Trump. So yeah, I definitely think that he gave Bill Clinton a blowjob. I think he also gave Mom Donnie a blowjob, and I'm still waiting for mine.
From Trump, I mean, maybe he comes to Tennessee, dude. He likes Tennessee.
Hold on, I'm gonna show you why. Because I don't want Trump to fuck me. I don't want anything to do with Trump's penis in my ass. But I want those lips. I want those big fat lips.
Those charred, sunburned-looking lips.
You're gonna tell me you don't want your
No, I don't think so.
Oh shit! Can you close the door?
Oh.
So yeah, if you want to get your dick sucked by Donald Trump, just hit up the toll-free number 1-800-GET-SUCK, and Donald Trump will you'll be filled. Well, no, you'll fill his mouth, and he'll fill a slot in his schedule for you. But I'm first. I've been waiting. I've had my reservations. And still, nothing has happened. Nothing has come. I've been saving it for Donald Trump, and he won't call me back. I feel like that one dude.
Did you make reservations with the right company?
God damn it. Okay, well, I'll have to look at my reservation later. But, are there really people who don't think that he knew Epstein at all?
I mean, it does appear that they can easily just sway, like, facts and opinion, like how everything always has been. You know, Trump has never shied away from knowing that he knew Epstein, like, from letting people know.
And I feel like at this point we're being like, well, no, they weren't friends, and they were, like, definitely friends. My take on this whole thing has always been that they're both pimps, but Jeffrey Epstein is like a child pimp, like he sells kids, and Donald Trump didn't do that. So whenever Epstein started becoming flagrantly about having sex with kids and selling kids, he was like, well, this is just too far now. It was okay when you were selling them, but now you're tipping into your own product, and like, what the fuck? Which is kind of hypocritical if that is the case. I think that's what happened, but like that would mean that Donald Trump's out here fucking his prostitutes, but he's like, well, you can't fuck your prostitutes because what you're doing is like worse. It makes me think that if he was like selling like mushrooms and he knew a guy who was selling Xanax and the guy started doing Xanax, he'd be like, well, you shouldn't be doing that. That's bad. You're a bad influence. You're a bad example for other Xanax dealers. Like, that's almost what it feels like. He's like, well, if you're going to be a pimp about it, you can't sell kids. It has to be adults.
I think they all were kind of involved with each other, honestly.
Yeah, I think they were all sucking each other's dicks. Involved heavily. Do you think Hillary was watching? Do you think she was rubbing it off?
She's just cucking in the corner of the room.
So I've made this joke before. I don't think she wanted to fuck the kids. I think she just did it because she wanted to fit in. Maybe the whole thing was about the war crimes. Is the joke? Is the punchline there? Is she didn't want to fuck kids. She wanted to kill the kids, the brown ones in like Benghazi. But maybe it wasn't about the dead kids that her and McCain made along the way. Maybe it was about the cuckoldry. Maybe she loved seeing another man suck Bill Clinton's dick.
That's why it was too far with Lewinsky.
She didn't get to see it. She wasn't there. How dare you get your dick sucked without me there?
And with a woman, how dare you?
I should have you court-martialed. I'm the only girl that gets to suck your dick.
Any man can, but I'm the only woman that can. That's quoted, actually, I think.
No, it is really fun to think about the possibly intimate sexual relationship that Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Clinton had with each other.
And potentially Trump.
Well, yeah, the Trump one is the one that's the hot topic. Obviously, that's the fun one. But I think there's something special about two pedophiles finding each other and like being like, yeah, I can't get hard unless she's under 18, or it's my main love, Bill / Jeffrey, depending on who's saying it.
That's such a wild take.
That's a Sundance film. That's like a romance. That's something that you'd see for like not a. I guess it would be summer. That would be a summer themed blockbuster. It would not. I don't feel like that fits for Christmas. Child fucking feels more of a summer activity than a winter one. So you just like you get Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein meet in the summer of '92, and they find out that they both have this secret life that they're at the time partners. For Bill Clinton being romantic, for Jeffrey Epstein being a business partner. Their partners don't know about their secret lifestyles yet. So like in this, for the fictional purposes, Jeffrey Epstein's just a normal pimp and Bill Clinton's just a normal corrupt politician. And he's becoming the president and he's like, I really like the cut of your jib, Jeff. And so they go out on some dates and they realize that they both like to have sex with children, but what they really want to have sex with is each other. And you get the moment where they're like out in the field eating grapes with each other, and there's like a bus being shipped with kids on the island sent to that one underground tunnel where they take people. And you can like make it a whole, like you could get the QAnon people to help fund it, and you can have a bunch of references to the island. I think this could be the next summer hit. And then at a certain point, Donald Trump comes in and starts cheating. Bill Clinton feels like Jeffrey Epstein's cheating on him, despite the fact that they're not even in like a full relationship. They've both been cheating on each other, but he's so in love with Jeffrey Epstein that when Donald Trump comes into the picture, he's like, "No, fuck this guy." And eventually, Bill Clinton starts trying to come on to to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump's like, "Fine, I'll suck your dick," but doesn't like it as much. And Bill Clinton's like, "You motherfucker," and it gets mad at both of them, and he storms out, and that's when Hillary tells the press about Monica Lewinsky, and they come out with that story, and he gets evicted. That's not the right word. Impeached.
You got the screenplay written for this already?
No, but I'm writing it right now. I'm storyboarding it right now.
Storyboard.
Right, we don't have the screenplay, but we've got the story beats, and then from there we're pretty much just following everything as it's known. Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein are boyfriends for a while, but eventually he starts fucking too many kids, and Donald Trump's like, whoa, hey, I'm going back to New York to fuck adult prostitutes. And he gets involved with politics and frames Jeffrey Epstein. There could maybe be like a subplot about Donald Trump working with the FBI and Bill Clinton trying to warn Jeff. They're coming for you, Jeff. You can't trust them. That Donald Trump, he's no good. You
do a good impression there.
Thanks. And then Jeffrey Epstein's like, you don't know anything. I'm fine. I'm untouchable. They can't touch me. Only thing that can touch me is those 8-year-olds on the island. And he's like, God, I love the way you talk about fucking kids. And then he gets arrested. And then Bill Clinton personally breaks into jail to kill him because he realizes that there's no way, and he can't run for the rest of his life with Jeffrey Epstein, but Jeffrey wouldn't want to run for the rest of his life alone. And they have a last tender moment as they hold each other, and Bill Clinton tightens the razor wire, not the razor wire, the garrote wire, which that'd be a crazy way for this movie to end, huh? like a Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein romance movie that's got like a love triangle that develops and
That would be
ends
so
with a full-on
crazy.
like fucked up assassination, like eyes popping, like bloodshot, blood coming into the fucking. No, I'm imagining like a fully brutal, realistic garrote death, which is a really bad one. Have you ever seen somebody get garroted before?
I don't think so. Maybe
So
I have. I don't know.
I haven't seen it, but I know what actually happens because of the way that it does. The in movies, it's so always go behind them, tighten the wire, and then they go like,
Right.
and then they go down. But it takes a little bit longer than movies show. It's still a lot faster than your hands, because it's like consistent pressure all the way across.
Right.
But it breaks things first, and then since it's cutting off the air so hard, your eyes go bloodshot, and then you go down. And it's like a lot. I think you might cough up blood because of the way that the neck breaks.
Yeah, you.
It's
probably
not a
do.
pleasant. It's not a pleasant. There's a movie I saw called "Dead in a Week or Your Money Back." Yep, that's what it was. I just pulled that from the vault, but it's about a hitman who helps people commit suicide because he wants to have some like deaths that don't weigh on his conscience. And this 20-year-old is like, "I want you to kill me." He's like, "Okay, well, we've got a bunch of different services," and he pays for one of the cheaper but not horrible options packages that he offers.
Okay.
And the whole thing is that he's trying to kill this guy and he can't do it. He's like every time he's like about to kill him, like if something gets in the way. And so it's a dark comedy. It's played like he's got somewhere in fate trying to protect him. And then spoiler alert: at the end of the movie, he realizes that he doesn't want to die, and he finds love, and he talks to the guy and is like, "Yeah, I don't want you to kill me anymore." And he's like, "Well, it's been a week. Here's your money back." And he's like, "Thanks." And they both go their separate ways, and then he gets hit by an ambulance and dies.
Damn. I'm gonna check that movie out. It sounds pretty good.
I know it's very and me spoiling the ending doesn't actually ruin the movie because that is more of like it's kind of a metaphor of like he did everything. Him trying to kill himself was the impact that he had on the world around him, and as depressing as of a life he had, he was still able to bring joy to other people's lives. But at one of the scenes, he's like, "Just please don't garrote me." And it's because if you are in Europe and you know about how people were actually garroted in the World War II spy days, it's not good. It looks really fucked up, it looks probably worse than it is. I bet you probably don't feel as much as it looks like you do.
I don't know. It really
There's
depends.
like a red fucking outline that you get around your neck that makes it look really fucking gruesome.
Oh yeah.
But no, I think that there are definitely more gruesome ways to be killed in general, as the cartel has established.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you
They're
think-
pretty.
Do you think the cartel would bring back the bronze bull?
I mean, yeah. Probably they would bring back everything.
Well, what shape would they make it instead of a bull? Well, I guess no. Bulls are still
Yeah, bulls that's-
pretty Mexican.
Yeah.
That's funny. You could just have a full crossover. They should do that. I mean, they shouldn't, but like if they're gonna kill people the way that they are, they should get creative with
If we're
it.
gonna kill people, let's bring back the old days.
Let's get fucking medieval with it. Let's get historical. I also love it's like the cartel can't chill, so they're like, "Yeah, we recreated the bronze bull, but we filled it up with acid this time." So you cook and you boil and you cook at the same time. That's
It's an all-in-one cooking method.
Is that another movie? That wouldn't be a Sundance. That'd be a Lionsgate movie. What's is it Harvey Weinstein's got the production company that has really weird fucked up movies? Dude, Feast, I will never forget watching Feast and how overly sexual. I've watched a lot of Japanese
I haven't
movies
seen
too.
that one.
It is one of the most sexualized horror movies I've ever seen. Not to say it's bad. It's just a lot hornier than I was expecting going into it. The second one I'd say is bad.
A movie I'll never forget watching is Tusk.
Oh, I love Tusk. I still need to. I actually watched this year for the Halloween Spooktacular. I watched I think it's a movie by the same director. It was popular. You know the movie that has the Korean guy with the bulging eyes that runs Naruto runs at the person?
Oh, yeah.
It was that movie.
I only got to see part of it. I didn't get to see the whole movie.
Those aren't the movies I was thinking of. I did just say Korean guy who runs at the camera. I got a bunch of different. But no, the main actor from Tusk, he has been featuring in other Justin Long. Justin Long's been featuring in other horror movies, and
I like Justin Long.
every time he's in a horror movie, he does a fucking fantastic job, and it's great because he's not a scary part of the movie. He's the funny part. He's the comedy relief. But every time and I want to make sure Barbarian, that's the one that I saw that's got,
Okay.
it's got the guy who plays the clown in It, but he does not play a
Oh.
monster. He's one of the main characters for the first half of the movie. He's just a regular guy, and he does an amazing job. Like, fucking great. And they do a great job of playing into, like, oh, is he going to be the villain? Is he going to be the thing? Because he played the clown in It. So everybody that's watching,
Right.
meta-knowledge-wise, is thinking, like, what if he does something? It's Zach Krieger that directed that. And then Jeepers Creepers. Weapons.
I love Jeepers Creepers.
Weapons is also by Zach Krieger. And then, Tusk was by Kevin Smith. Because that was his, they had a podcast, Kevin Smith and Justin Long, and they were talking about the worst horror movie that they could make, and they came up with the idea for Tusk, and they were like, let's make it, which it feels appropriate to talk about after the last conversation of just the Jeffrey Epstein movie. Anyways, Zach
The ending
Krieger.
to Tusk is just I can't. They're just like, all right.
To spoil Tusk, man gets abducted by some Canadian, some Canuck, and he's obsessed with a walrus. He used to have a pet walrus that he loved and he cherished, and he had to. No, actually, it wasn't a pet. It was, but he was stranded on an island with him. And he ended up having to eat him, and he ate him right before help arrived. And so he killed his friend for no reason. His best friend he killed for no reason. And he swore to make his friend again. Which, I'm not going to lie, kind of a respectable, like...
No, he
he's
definitely
crazy.
snapped. He definitely, like, after eating his friend, he snapped. He was done.
Like, he was fucking done mentally. But, like, I respect the hustle. I respect that man for being like, no, I need to bring my friend back. I can't bring him back from the dead, but I can make something in his memory.
You know, and he didn't do a half bad job considering turning a person into a walrus.
I'm looking at the time. I didn't realize Tusk was an hour and 42 minutes long. That feels
grueling.
Yeah, that feels grueling of like how much time it is. But I will say I've seen a lot of people dig on it because it's not scary or funny one way or the other. And I personally love the tone in that sense.
It's a horror.
It's a horror. It's not a dark comedy. It's a horror movie that also has comedic beats.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. It does a great job at that. And part of the reason is because Justin Long's character sucks so fucking much. He's like the worst. He's such a bad person. And you want your main character in a horror movie to be kind of a bad person. You don't want to feel bad as their...
Right.
I've watched over 200 horror movies. And one of the worst things you can do for your horror movie is have your protagonist that gets harassed during the movie be too sympathetic, be too good of a person. Because then the entire time you're like, wow, I feel so bad for this person. This is why are they going through that? But the second that you be like, this person's stupid, they're a burnout, they cheat on their boyfriend, they cheat on their girlfriend, like any sort of dynamic that puts a flaw on them and you
Right.
focus on that, then it's like, oh yeah, they suck. All of the bad things that are happening are justified. I don't have to feel too bad about this. And Justin Long in Tusk is a podcast host who makes fun of people with mental disabilities and like physical disabilities, and that's his whole thing. He just finds people who are cringe and makes fun of them. And because of that, by the time he gets turned into a walrus, which that's what happens with the movie, they put a bunch of flesh on him and make him a walrus. He teaches him the walrus ways.
I would say condition.
Well, he does teach him. He does teach him how to be a walrus. He does also condition him. But covered into, like, being surgically turned into a walrus and then thrown into the water to sink or swim, literally die or like figure out how to live, is definitely not teaching. That is definitely more conditioning. Yeah, so he gets turned into this walrus, and the cops find out about what's happened, and his girlfriend, they all go, his friend, they go up to
his
Canada.
girlfriend and his best friend, right?
Yep, they go up to Canada, and they break into this guy's house, and they see, which I'm also not going to lie, now that I'm thinking about it, part of the ending is probably because the cop came in on Tusk dude, Justin Long's Tusk man, Walrus Mandu, Fu Manchu dude, just going whole hog into his abdomen with his tusks.
That's true.
And it's like, well, I don't want to put him in jail, but I also can't let him exist on the outside because he is a murderer. And that does change the ending for me a little bit, just a little bit. I was like, why didn't they help their friend rehabilitate him? Why didn't they do something? Probably because the implication is like, well, he's all fucking wonky in the head now, and he killed a guy, and we can't put him into prison because like he'll get raped. You would get raped so fucking fast if you were a walrus, man. Dude, the character to Justin Long at the end of Tusk, I think would get, because
Dude, he'd be a beach master.
Okay, fine. Because I was thinking he couldn't get away very well, but he could just like get into fights. People try to rape him. He just like
just fuck them up.
Just fucking ruins them, and they're like, okay, well, don't touch the walrus guy. New guy shows up in the prison. It's like, ooh, who's that walrus over there? It's like,
gets immediately fucked up.
You don't. New Sundance movie idea. Tusk 2, he gets sent to prison because he attacked somebody at the zoo. And he has to fight his way off from all these people that are trying to fuck him. And then somebody comes in and is like, I want that. And it's like, no, you don't want any piece of that. And he's like, no. I don't want a piece of it. I want it. I want its heart. And then they fall in love. They get a picnic out in the yard where they're like dangling grapes. I just want some grapes.
Turns out it's that Tusk guy's like long lost like son, like a strange son.
Jeffrey Epstein ends up in the same prison as Tusk. Cinematic shared universe.
The money's gonna roll in on these ideas.
Dude, people love a cinematic shared universe. If I can get at least one advertiser that's like, yeah, we see the vision, we're raking in the cash. But no, I think overall Tusk, the end of Tusk, is a very, it's kind of a metaphor for the state of U.S. politics right now.
The movie Tusk is?
Yeah, at least the ending. I don't know about the whole movie. The whole movie probably doesn't fit that well. For just like being stuck in a zoo as your friends. I am the walrus. Yeah. Cuckoo, ka-choo, 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 ka. No, Donald Trump is the walrus. The U.S. tax system is the walrus, and we're the people that come visit him and give him the chum, in the zoo jail cell at the end of the movie. The way he flops out is so funny. I was shocked the first time I watched Tusk and we got there. That was, I think, actually the most shocking part of that movie.
I mean, he had a pretty good walrus gait to him.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I would say that he. Do
you think another walrus would be like, "Oh, look, another walrus," or would it be like?
I was about to say I don't know how a walrus walks. So actually, maybe he had a good walrus walk. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not an Eskimo. I don't know how a walrus is supposed to move. Those are the only people I think I know that are consistently around walruses. Are the Inuit. Dude, do
they ride them around like horses?
Do you know that do you know that one fucking camping YouTube channel that camps with his kids?
No.
in extreme weather. Hold on. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Outdoor Boys, Luke Nichols. There's a sick fucking picture of Luke Nichols camping in Alaska, and I'm about to show it to you.
Man, I want to go hiking too. Oh, camping.
Fucking look at this man.
What the fuck?
So what we got here is the main dude from Outdoor Boys, which is an amazing YouTube channel. He just camps with his kids and teaches them about how to survive in extreme weather. Sometimes he'll go to even more extreme weather and won't bring his kids because it's legitimately like harmful for them. Which this is one of those times. He went to Alaska. And like the deep fucking north of Alaska. And what we got here is an image of him with a fur
Those
parka
sunglasses.
and a hunting rifle with the traditional Inuit sun protection glasses, which those are actually to protect your eyeballs from getting sunburned. Your
Yeah, it
eyeballs
makes
get
sense. You're in a
sunburned.
ton of snow.
And yeah, if that much white with reflecting the snow back at your eyeballs can actually sunburn your eyeballs. So it's not as it's the same risk as if you are staring directly at the sun, and those supposedly work really well. I've seen some Inuit. I follow a lot of random YouTube, and there's a Inuit people that I follow. I was gonna say couple. It's a mom and her daughter, so they're a couple, but not in that sense. Not in like I don't think they're fucking. They might be. They sometimes put their faces together like they might be. But they were like,
Look,
this is
those
good,
glasses
but
remind me
this is
of
better.
LeVar Burton in Star Trek.
Yeah, they do look like LeVar Burton glasses. They do look like fucking Geordie LaForge. Family Guy has that one bit where Peter finds Geordie LaForge glasses.
Oh.
And does it show what he sees? Or does he just scream
I
and
think
be
he just
like,
screams.
Yeah.
I can't fully remember. I think he just screams.
I I saw that episode again as an adult, and I thought that I made the head can or not as an adult, it's like a 17-year-old, and I made the head can. It was just everybody were KKK members, which is probably not. It was probably hell. He probably like saw like hell. Which funny enough, my very first experience with with Family Guy and knowing about the difference between adult cartoons and kid cartoons was an accident where I saw that episode. And I was staying up late for the first time that I can like cognitively remember. I think I was like 9, maybe 10. And I was in North Dakota visiting my step family because I had step family in fucking North Dakota.
I went
Which
to
I
North
don't-
Dakota once.
I was gonna say, I don't think I appreciated.
No, that was Nebraska. No, I've never been to North Dakota.
I don't think I appreciated how far north I was and how like pretty the sky could have been.
Yeah.
I didn't go out at the nighttime at any point, and I really missed out on that front. But we were in Bismarck, North Dakota, which I can say because it's one of the only cities in fucking North Dakota with anything. And whenever I was like 10 years old, I'm sitting there watching Cartoon Network, and it switches over to Adult Swim, and I have no clue. Right? I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I start watching Family Guy, and I'm like, oh, this is funny. I don't get all these jokes, but this is kind of funny. And my mom comes in after I've already seen an episode and a half. She was distracted. I think she was drinking like she usually did. And so she comes back in and is like, oh, what are you watching? Stop! Turn that off right now! And like freaks the fuck out, and I have to go to bed right away. And I was like, what? I don't understand what's going on. I thought I was in trouble. I didn't end up being in trouble. Didn't get grounded or anything. But I was still like very confused at the time. And then had this similar thing happen after my dad moved back to the same city because my parents were divorced and he was living in Vanderbilt, so I wouldn't stay nights with him. I start staying nights with him on weekdays, and I realized that the weekend programming on Cartoon Network after 8 p.m. is a lot different than the weekday programming after 8 p.m. And that's where I learned the word whore. And I said that around my parents, and they got very upset by that. I think that was the one that I had to get soap washed out in my mouth. There was a different one where I said damn. That was the first time that I had my parents put something in my mouth because I was being irresponsible. And my stepdad's cock was the third. No. So the first time that I said damn, and my dad was like, whoa, you can't say that. He made me put Tabasco on my tongue. And it's funny because that definitely, I did not like that as a kid. That fucked with me as a kid. I think it's the reason why I put Tabasco on my eggs now. There was a part of me as a child that was like panicking because I didn't know what spicy food was. But after I had already learned that and came back to Tabasco, I was like, yo.
I remember the first time I had a jalapeno was my dad had a jar of pickled jalapenos.
Ooh.
And it was like, I don't know, it was like some like gathering with like adults and like all their children's, you know, it was like, you know, a bunch of people. My dad was like, show them other kids what's up. Eat this pepper. And I kept, you know, I don't know. And then finally I did it. And then I don't know how much milk I drank after that, but I could not handle it. And now I love spicy food. I eat hot food all the time.
You gotta get the kids used to it. You gotta get them conditioned. You gotta condition them like Bill Clinton, like the walrus dude in Tusk. It's all about conditioning. If your kids know how to eat spicy food, then they'll be able to get fucked in the ass one day. Both figuratively and literally. Hopefully it's only figuratively, though. Then again, if your kids getting the opportunity...
Some people want both. I mean, it's fine.
Well, if your kids getting the opportunity in like their work to get fucked in the ass for a raise, for a promotion, that's a pretty good setup. There are a lot worse situations to be in. This is completely unrelated, but I have a list of things that I saw delivering this week. And
delivering to where?
To just people. To pizza delivering.
Oh, love it.
And so these are in chronological order over the last week. First thing, I saw a crazy man in the hospital. And it's funny because usually when you go to the hospital to drop it off, you just drop it off at the front desk and then you leave. But this time it was somebody nice. It was one of our regulars. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take it all the way up there. They say they're on the fourth floor. And I was talking to the security guard who's really nice. And we're joking around. And he's like, yeah, just call him and have him come down here. And I hear over the radio, we've got a whatever code down over here. I can't remember what the numbers were, but it was some code, and I see him, like, get over the radio and get all serious and start walking. I'm like, hey, they said to bring it to the fourth floor. Can I just go up there? And he's like, yeah, that's fine, and, like, runs off. And I'm like, oh, they got something. So I go up there. I go back down, which it was past the point where I was supposed to enter through that door, and everywhere was, like, closing down. And the whole place was empty. And I don't know if you've ever been in an empty hospital. It's one of my favorites, but it's also so bizarre. And if you're supposed to go somewhere, if you're supposed to like be at a location, it is the most. I think it's more confusing than like a hotel or anything like that. To just like know that there's certain areas, because there's certain areas you can't go to. And so you're like hoping that you don't hit a dead end that looks like a door, and then you're like, oh no, I can't enter through here.
Yeah. I've taken the when they were remodeling the main floor, I accidentally took one of the service elevators up to a floor, and I got on the floor, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "What?"
I've got a friend who works at the hospital, and the first time that I got stuck there, I was like wandering through the halls in like the back employee area, and I found a line of images of all of the hospital management staff throughout the years. And I found one that looked like a lesbian. I was like, this person is a lesbian. And he messaged back. He was like, she's married to a woman. Also, where are you? Are you in the fucking A-wing? And I was like, yeah. I was when I sent that video. But no, I come back down after I deliver the pizza. I was delivering to the nurses that take care of the kids.
Yeah.
I was going to
She's super nice.
I was going to make a joke about... So they're the ones that are cheating on their husbands the most, but there's no correlation between being around kids and cheating. That's just all nurses do that.
It's just a nurse thing.
That's just the nurse thing. Hashtag just nursey things. Cheating on your significant other and then saying, "I'm sorry. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. It was an intense emotional moment." But yeah, I saw. As I come back down and I go through the halls, I come around the corner, and I just see, "You're fucking Nazis! I'm not going anywhere with you fucking fascist Nazis!" And they're like, "Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to stay here then. I'm gonna have to ask you to not move." The guy's not handcuffed. The guy's not doing anything. Like, there's just two people in security uniforms. And I feel so bad because I'm like, man, he's out here being like, "I'm not gonna let you fucking arrest me for saying I'm not gonna, like, I'm refusing care. I bet you this was like, I'm not gonna get health care. I don't need help. I don't need your medicine." And they're like, "Sir, you're having a heart attack. You need the medicine." He's like, "I'm not gonna fucking, no, you can't fucking make me." And he like ran off, and they're like, "Sir, you can't just leave the hospital. We're responsible for you at this point." It's like, "You're fucking Nazis. You're keeping me here." Meanwhile, they literally, I don't think they were planning on arresting him. That man definitely thought he was being arrested, and I think he was fine. I think he was completely fine. I also think he was homeless. I also don't think he was fine. Like, he was in a hospital.
Right.
But like, the situation he was in societally, he was fine. And he's just screaming at this black guy, calling him a Nazi. And I'm like, that's not even, Nazis aren't black. I mean, they are now, but like, you don't know that. You're like 60. That's not what you mean when you say Nazi. You look like you fought them in World War II. I'm assuming that you are just angry at the fact that you can't leave. And that's fair, but if I'm in a hospital and they're like, "Sir, you need to stay here." He's like, "No, you can't keep me here." My first assumption is not going to be that there's something nefarious afoot. I'm going to be like, "Oh, that guy needs help. That guy needs medical assistance."
He needs to stay here.
Which I was in the middle of leaving, and I did have a moment where I was like, "Is he gonna like lunge at me and attack me?" I was like, no, he's not mad at me. He's mad at the fascist Nazi black police officer."
Yeah.
Which that black
we all?
security guard is so nice, and I feel bad for him because I was like, "There's no reason that you should be talking to him that way. I know him. You should not be talking to him that way." But then the next thing I saw, so I go up to this door. "Hey, what's up?" I don't actually say that. I do hear, "Oh, pizza man, I got it." And I hear tiny little footsteps running up to the door.
That's like the worst thing in the world. Please stop sending your children to get my pizza.
The child was not sent. The child sent themselves.
Oh yeah, I know, but like, please just, if you ordered food, just pay attention.
It gets better. It gets better. Door opens. "Hi, I'm Jessica." I look down. It's like a little boy. It's like, "I'm 11 years old." I'm like, "Oh, hi, Jessica. Nice to meet you." It's like, "I'm the daughter." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah." I don't know what to say. And then the mom comes up and gives kind of like a hi, like kind of smile. And I'm like, "Take your 11-year-old trans child and do something with them. I don't know what to. Listen, I'll make jokes on the podcast all day about fucking trans kids and Bill Clinton and shit. But like, don't make me." I was like, I don't know this child. I'm not just going to affirm them completely, but I'm also not going to be like, "Listen here, you little 11-year-old boy. You think you're a fucking daughter because you're going around wearing your mom's moo-moo? Shut the fuck up." And not only that, there are definitely people that I work with who would react that way to see
100%. Like unfiltered right then.
And I had a moment where I saw this young child. I'm not going to say boy. I'm not going to say girl. I don't know if I should affirm their gender, but I'm not going to say that they don't know that they're going through something.
Right.
Like, there's a chance that they just want to feel like their mom. There's a chance that they're legitimately having a gender crisis. I don't know that. All I know is a little 11-year-old boy came up to me as a pizza man saying that she's the daughter. "I'm the daughter. Hi, my name's Jessica. Definitely Jessica, not a different name that I'm using instead."
That is definitely leftist propaganda right there.
Well,
That
so
is no.
funny enough,
that's who they're coming after right there.
I also this is not the first time that I've interacted with a trans child on my shift. This is definitely the second, possibly the third, and I say definitely the second because I delivered to one house who had a trans flag and a gay flag out in front of their door, and I was like, okay, and then the door opens up and there's a boy wearing a skirt and has dyed hair and like the emo style, and I was like,
Hell yeah.
that would be the trans flag. That would be the trans, and I think that's more leftist propaganda than this family is, because they're flying it loud and proud, being like, "Hey, look at us, we're trans." And you go there, and it's like, "Yeah, this is my trans daughter. Look at my trans daughter. We're here to be trans in your community. Beware us." But this one felt a lot more wholesome. This one felt like a mom and having a kid that's like, why can't I wear the dresses that you wear? And she's like, well, you can. It's like, can I? And it's like, yeah, absolutely. And it's like kind of like having thoughts about their identity. And that's, as a parent, the worst thing you can do is be like, no, you're not a fucking girl. Shut the fuck up. Because then they're definitely going to become trans out of spite.
Well, but then like what if the family that's flying the flag and stuff is proud of their child for not
not being
hiding
cis
themselves or whatever. No, yeah, that's exactly it.
See, that's the fun
But
part.
maybe they went through that process already.
You see the trans flag, and you're like, wow, I really hope this is them supporting their kid in their endeavors, and not them being like, hell yeah, I don't have a fucking straight child. I don't have to worry about some fucking cishet bullshit in my fucking house. And with where we live, it's usually not the second. It's very, very, very rarely the second.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever actually personally interacted with somebody that I could say confidently represents that second archetype, but they are out there. But this 11-year-old little trans child definitely was not that. I keep saying 11, and I want it to be known. That was one of the first. I say that because that was one of the first pieces of information that I got, and that was more jarring than the "I'm the daughter" comment. The "I'm the daughter" comment was like, okay, so you want me to affirm the fact that you're the daughter in the household, and like low key, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm a pizza man. I don't get paid enough to have a deep conversation about like gender identity, despite the fact that I'm probably pretty qualified to have this conversation with you. I don't know you. I don't know your mom. I'm not going to come into your household like that. At the same time, the 11-year-old is the part that threw me off the most. Having a child answer the door and be like, "Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm 11." I'm like, "Okay, hello. What the fuck?" So that was the second thing of notoriety I saw. The final thing. This one was fun. This was a fun one. So I'm driving, and when you see a bunch of cops coalesced around an area, not like when you see two next to each other and they're chatting, but when you see like 3 or 4 cop cars, they don't have their lights on, and you're like, oh,
I think I know which day you're talking about.
You guys are doing something. You
Over
guys
there in
are up
front
to
of Sunshine,
something.
whatever, tobacco. Yeah, what was going on with that?
I see 4 cop cars and a bunch of cops hanging outside, and I'm driving down this road, and I'm like, that's interesting. Let me take note of that. Let me remember that's there. And I didn't have to take note for too long, because on the way back down that same road after my delivery, I fucking see lights. I'm like, okay, here we go. I get to see what's going on. And there's just a shirtless guy with a black cowboy hat, and I hear over the whole intercom thing, "Don't move. Put your hands above your head. Put your hands. Don't move." And,
wow.
And he's just a shirtless guy in a cowboy hat, shirtless cowboy. And I don't know what the fuck was going on, but I know at the very least he was in one of those buildings and he was not supposed to be. And I really did call that. I don't know how well I called it, because I assumed he was robbing the place, and I don't know if that's what he was doing. I'm assuming, but let's go ahead and assume that he was. Seeing the cops all there being ready to like pounce on him, and then on the way back, seeing the pouncing have happened, and then being like, "Okay, stay there." I was like, "Damn, you had no shot.
You
No.
stood no fucking chance. There was no way you were getting out of this.
Not far down the street, there was also a fire truck and an ambulance. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if, like,
I left as the ambulance was getting there.
okay, so I must come through after that. Dude, those police were there for like another hour.
Okay.
And then
What if he was on drugs? What if he was like
probably
methed
but
out, dude?
the ambulance and fire truck were pretty much there the whole time too. So I think he was like being evaluated and everything.
Okay. 'Cause see, I left, and then as the as I was going back to the store, I just saw a fucking ambulance and fire truck go in that direction. I was like, well, shit. I hope they didn't do nothing to him. That's not a good sign. Yeah, those were the big moments from this this week. Just this week. That was just this week. I'm gonna start making that a semi-regular segment. I'm gonna try and keep a note of the crazy people.
I'll do the same. I have
Crazy
run into
people.
a lot of people. I had one kid answer the door one time, and he was like, "My mama went to go get money," and I was like, "Okay." So I just stood there, and the kid was like super excited for pizza and asked him which one was his, and he was like, "No, I have macaroni and cheese."
Hold on. Was he asking which box was his or which pizza was his?
No, he was talking about how good pizza is. And how he loves pizza. And then I was like, "Oh, okay, which one's yours?" And he was like, "Oh, I have macaroni and cheese."
The only
Okay.
The only way that could have been more of like a kid interaction is if he followed that up with, "Yeah, sometimes my dad likes to scream at my mom. It's usually late at night.
I mean,
How much is it?"
it was over at Autumnwood, so yeah.
I think that my favorite part, my second favorite part, my first favorite part of the job is getting to blow my ears out with my subwoofer. God damn, I love that. I would kill myself if something happened to my subwoofer. I would literally put a bullet in my fucking mouth and bite down so it pops in my. I wouldn't even use a gun. I would just like forcefully, because I would want to feel it, but I'd want to make sure if anything happened to my subwoofer, because I can't buy another one, you know? There's no other subwoofers to purchase in the world. Once that one dies, it's over.
There's a shortage.
That's how I actually felt when my 210 inches died, which I'm hoping I need to get a better car before I try to hook those up again. But I'm hoping that changing the fuses on those was fine. I'm hoping those fixed it. We talked about furries on one of the old episodes.
Probably.
And I didn't read my notes fully whenever we had that episode, which it was still a good conversation to have. You know, I still think it was important.
There's usually good conversations to be had about furries.
Yeah, but my notes actually have a more interesting question, which is the hottest type of non-furry anthropomorphic animal. So, for those who don't know, a little bit of brain rot research, a little bit of brain rot thing. There's furries as an abstraction. That's like anthropomorphized animals. But each one technically has a different name. So, for example, reptile furries, like if you were a chameleon furry, if you had like a fursuit that was a chameleon, it wouldn't be a fursuit, it would be a scale suit. So you've got like dragons, geckos, chameleons, that are all also people will wear suits for. And there's a lot of different archetypes. And I don't know the names for all of them. But remember that alcoholic that we worked with, that 6 foot tall alcoholic? That over 6 foot tall? I don't want to say his name. I probably could say his name. I'm going to say actually, it's Rich. So, Rich, one time I was talking to him about furries because I was listening to trans furry music, because I love trans furry music. Fuck, dude. Fentanyl? Fentanyl is my shit. Anyways, I talked to him and I was like, what would you do if you came up to like 30 furries in the woods and they're all just like fucking each other? Just a huge like fucking orgy. And he looked at me and he got a big grin on his face and he went, I'd ask if they had a spare suit that I could wear. And I was like, that's a crazy fucking... That was not the reply I was expecting. I was like, what kind of suit would you want to wear? And he was like, probably something like a shark.
Yeah, no, I remember this conversation happening.
And ever since then, I've been obsessed with the idea of like obviously like so here. Okay, I need to defend myself before I make this next statement. I would not fuck an animal. I know because I've thought about the active I've thought about fucking an animal and had a moment where I was like, oh, like it's a hole. You know, a hole's a hole. You're a teenager. You're like, I could fucking put my dick in anything, dude. And you see like a dog, and you're like, yeah, I could put my dick in. Oh, actually, no, I really shouldn't have that thought, huh? That's really I've made me feel a bad way, and I think.
That's the way it should make you feel.
And you
It
shouldn't
should make
have
you
the
feel
thought,
repulsed.
but you know, stepdad's cock, it does things to you. It does crazy things to you.
That's fair.
Stepdad's cock and huffing rubber cement at a young age will make you think about some crazy things.
Oh, I
Like
remember
dog
the rubber
pussy.
cement.
It's funny that like I've huffed of other things since then, and nothing has matched the way that rubber cement feels. Anyways, as somebody who's thought about the idea of having sex with furry pussy, it's very obvious that certain. First of all, I think it's very obvious that the ones that are soft and fluffy are going to be the best to. I would rather fuck those than something that has scales or something that's
Fair.
like wet, like a porpoise or something like
You
that.
want like a Komodo dragon?
I mean, that'd be hot, but I wouldn't. It wouldn't feel great. It wouldn't feel as good as like a deer or a fox. I'm really showing my hand a little bit too much here, but like I think a deer might be the hottest, like the sexiest anthropomorphized animal. And okay, so how do we want to have this conversation? Do we want to be realistic about it and understand that having sex with a furry means that you're having sex with a person in a fursuit, or do we want to get kind of magical and imagine a world where like beast stars types anthropomorphized animals exist? Because I'd rather do the second.
Yeah, the fantasy version feels better.
It feels like a more interesting question. So, we're talking about the sexiest. My first thought is snake. An anthropomorphized snake is like thin, it's skinny. If she has tits, bro, it's over. But also, that's just because it's like sleek. I think if I don't want furry, I want something that's going to be sleek to the touch. And the scales are only sleek to the touch one way. So what if instead I think it might be an ocean creature. I think the hottest non-furry anthropomorphic animal might be some kind of
Like a dolphin.
yeah, which dolphins are a little bit too rapey. I feel like an anthropomorphic dolphin would be creepy. Did we
It's a lot of
talk?
high sex drive.
Did we
okay.
talk about rats and dolphins being as smart as people, and the idea of like what if they were a civilization? Did we talk about that on the podcast? I don't know if
I don't
we did.
think so.
All right, I'm going to put that in my notes for later because I've had that discussion before. But anyways, that whole thing makes me think that dolphins can't fully be trusted. I don't know if I want a dolphin,
I don't think they can be trusted.
an anthropomorphic dolphin that's actually like that has the mind of a dolphin. That's dangerous. So that fuck, does that make them hotter?
Yeah, I mean,
I think they're the
probably.
hottest bad boy option. So we should separate bad boy, good
hottest
boy
bad
option.
boy option.
It's the hottest option that's like, yeah, I'd fuck them, but I wouldn't like date them. And then there's the hottest one that's like, yeah, I could see like raising a litter of children with that type of animal. But I think that I'm just gonna put rats and dolphins for now. I remember what that's talking about. I think that yeah, I think dolphins or snakes are gonna be your hottest options, unless you have something that's better for bad boys.
I don't think so. I think my vote's for dolphin.
But like, what's gonna be what kind of ocean creature would you settle down with? I want to say it's a type of whale, but like, no, because whales are fat. Fat guys aren't hot. Fat girls aren't hot. You can't be hot and fat at the same time. What the fuck? That's crazy. That'd be insane. That would be literally, if somebody thought that a fat person was attractive, that would be insane to think that. Anyways.
That's so crazy.
No, I think if we're talking about, because you could probably say the same way that like fat people can be observed as attractive based on the eye of the beholder. There's probably
Yeah.
somebody for every type of anthropomorphic creature. I don't think that a bearded dragon would make a hot furry,
You don't think so?
but I bet somebody else vehemently
You
disagrees.
want
with
to feel
me.
the ridges?
I think a gecko. I think a gecko might be the best to settle down with. You know, like girls who love like soft Asian men. Gecko. That's a gecko.
Is that going to be the new term? You're going to start calling people
fuck.
geckos?
I hope I didn't start something with that. It's like the opposite of a performative male. And I mean opposite where they're like into the same things that performative males are into, but legitimately into them and don't talk about it. So they're like, they don't seem buff, they don't seem tough, and then you talk to them, they're kind of like, oh yeah, you know, I'm a cool guy. They're performatively masculine, but they're secretly feminine, as opposed to performative males that are performatively feminine but secretly masculine, which we all know being masculine is a horrible thing to be. It's a horrible
All the
fate to
time.
befall.
You should never be masculine.
Also, wait a
Masculinity
minute.
is
No, I have a
poison.
perfect segue that isn't even a full segue. I have to ask a serious question. Do geckos have cloacas?
I don't know.
I've
I've never studied geckos.
I think they do. They lay eggs.
Yeah.
And so I think they might. Do you think a cloaca feels different? How much different do you think a cloaca feels than a pussy? Because it's a pussy and a butthole at the same time. Is it tighter? Is it looser?
We should ask that one company, Tenga, to make something like that.
Oh my God, I don't want to. You took this too far
Be the
for me.
gecko gut.
I'm now actually uncomfortable with the idea of like, yeah, the new Tenga product, the Tenga cloaca. We diluted the entire sexual experience. Not diluted. What am I thinking of? The opposite of diluting.
They upgraded it.
No, but like, what's it called when you make something more, have a higher concentration of something?
I don't know the term of that.
I'm gonna cut this out because it matters for the joke. Dilute antonym. Remember antonyms?
They're the opposite.
Wait a minute. Why isn't it? Why? Dude, I hate AI.
Yeah, AI lies. People always want to use AI to support whatever the fuck they're talking about. And I'm always like, fuck you, because AI uses everything from the internet. It can find an answer for anything in multiple ways. And like almost all of them are going to be wrong.
Intensify, synonym, concentrate.
Okay, yeah. You increase the what can
I don't know what word I'm thinking of, but either way, I don't like the idea. We're probably just going to cut all that out. I don't like the idea of a sex toy company saying, hey, you know how a vagina feels? You know how a butthole feels? We're going to concentrate those, like the essence of those feelings and make a new toy that's both them.
Well, what would you call their toys now? Because it definitely isn't going to feel like
Alien.
a vagina.
I think that Tanga products are the closest that you can get to fucking alien pussy, which
I would agree with that.
if I didn't care about my girlfriend, if I didn't love and cherish my girlfriend, I'd give it a shot. But I don't think I'd be able to go back. I don't think straight up.
Right.
I don't think I can go back after trying any of Tanga's products because they're just that unique. Hey, Tanga, if you want to sponsor us.
Like you would, I just don't think you'd ever have fun again.
Well, I mean, you'd have fun again, just never having sex. It wouldn't be sex
yeah.
that makes is fun.
Yeah, it would ruin sex for you.
I always heard that you shouldn't have sex on Molly because once you have sex on Molly,
heard that too.
You'll never be able to enjoy it again. And I think that the Tanga line of products are a similar effect.
All right. But hear me out.
Yeah?
2 points and a Tanga.
What?
2 points of X and the Tanga, and then go for it.
So you can like use it like a Chinese finger trap, but for a penis. If you're talking about having one side, what?
I don't think you'd ever come back from doing Molly and then also using a Tanga at the same time.
I don't. It's
you actually may never come again for as long as you live.
Dude, I can. There has to be some meth head who has like one of the Tenga zero gravity spinning vibrating things, and just like smokes meth and sits there for hours with that thing just rolling around on his cock, just like an alligator spinning on his dick. Just death. This is fucking like fake pussy death rolling on his cock, and he's just like ah, and then he's just he hears some knocking from upstairs, and he thinks that the cops are there, and he goes quiet for 20 minutes, and goes back to just getting absorbed in this alien pussy. I feel bad. I feel bad
That's what
for
I'm
people.
saying, dude. It's gonna take everybody out, man. That's the end.
Oh my god, no! Like you brought up the Tenga making a cloaca, and what if they made a cloaca and then made a device that spun the cloaca?
Zero gravity, dude. It's
Also, would you fuck an anthropomorphic chicken? Because that's the first thing I think of when I think about a cloaca. Even though there's a lot of animals that have cloacas.
I don't often think about cloacas.
I do. That was way louder in the mic than it needed to be. Here, we got like a couple minutes to kill. Let's look up animals with cloacas. Frogs.
You fucking anthropomorphic frog.
I think out of all the animals with cloacas, a frog would be my choice.
I think a frog is number one right now.
Most fish also have a cloaca. Actually, so let's be clear. I think every single thing that we brought up as the non-furry anthropomorphic options have cloacas. Is that the
future,
secret?
dude? It's the future.
It's the secret to the future. You know, all those androids they're making to be sex bots. You give them
Cloacas,
Tenga
every one of them.
technology.
Tenga cloacas inside of AI robots.
Why do you need
That's the end of the world.
Why do you need two holes on a robot? Make it one. Get Tenga on that. Put a chicken pussy inside of an android. Thanks for listening. That's the end of the show. I don't think we can make anything funnier than that.